Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. Ocho, the Texans did a job on it.
Yeah.
The Texans beat the Cowboys by the score of 34-10. I predicted the final score would be 27-13. They got 7 more points. Dallas got 3 fewer points. But anytime you allow Cooper Rush to throw the ball 55 times, you get deserve, you earn what you get, an ass whipping.
Yes, sir.
That's what the Cowboys got. Yeah. That's what they earned. Ain't no way in hell Cooper Rush supposed to throw the ball 55 times.
Well, so you the fact that they don't have a running game, how did you expect them to be able to move the ball?
Clearly, they ain't got a passing game either. They throw 55 times, they got 10 points. The offensive line is terrible, Ocho. I mean, I watch Zach Martin. If Zach Martin is going to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, I watch him get beat with a swim move 3 consecutive plays. 1 for a sack, he got rid of the ball, and the next play, boom. 3 consecutive plays. Hey, Barnett was wearing the guy with the swim.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other guy? Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter was doing he's on the dance floor. He hit him with the swim, 1 move. He hit him with the rip. Then he turned his back and spin. He doing what he's like, man, I'm just clowning. And Michael looking on the sideline, he looking at the Jumbotron thinking to himself, and I know exactly what he's thinking. Damn, I wish I could rush against these sorry mofos. I have me about 8 sacks in a game. He would.
Yeah.
But they're bad. The offensive line is bad. The defensive line isn't any good. Jerry didn't address the issue as far as being able to stop the run. They want to play with a lead. But Ocho, what happens when you don't get a lead? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If you can't get the lead and a team can just bludgeon you, now what do you got?
Yeah.
You got a bunch of undersized guys that can't stand up against the rush. Mixon, 20 rushes, 109 yards. 3 touchdowns. They ran 25 times for $141. Mixon had all 3 tubs. CJ, 23 of 34, 257. No touchdowns, 1 interceptions. Offensive line did a great job, only gave up 1 sack, while the Texans defense got after Cooper Rush, sacked him 5 times. They should have picked him off another 2 or 3 times. I mean, the ball hit the guy right in the chest, Ocho. Stingley had 1, dropped it. I think it's Harrison. Yeah. He had 1, dropped it. But the Cowboys, look, at this point in time, Ocho, I would just play Trey Lance. So, because what are you hoping for? Just go try to get the worst pick you could possibly pick. It's time to rebuild. Your offensive line is trash. From left to right, it's all of them. Right. Except, Smith, you can work with Smith. I think it's Ty Smith. You can work with him. But the rest of them,
listen, it's always been time to rebuild for them. Obviously, for Dak's sake, and before Dak is able to come back, there's only so much the Cowboys can do. There's only so much Jerry Jones can do as far as rebuilding is concerned. You can't build every goddamn aspect of your team. You can only do so much on the offensive line. You can only do so much on the defensive line to be able to get pieces in there that can be adequate, that can hold up, where you can compete at the level you need to compete at. To compete for a championship, or you so say. Jerry Jones is a little bit stubborn. I think he doesn't know. Maybe you can see it. If you can see it and the rest of the world can see it, I'm not sure he can, because the things that he's going to need to do to make the move necessary to compete, he's probably not going to want to spin. So I think that's going to be a problem. It's going to be kind of a pull and tug for him, and thinking he knows what he needs to do to be able to compete and win, when he doesn't even know. Wait, hold on. When people, how do you say it the right way? Where he says, I'm the GM, I'm the one that knows what needs to be done.
He says nobody can do a better job. He said no one can do a better job than him.
Beam, the team that he has assembled, he feels is adequate enough to be able to compete. So he's not going to listen. You can see it clear as day. I can see it clear as day. The Cowboy fans, they probably can see it clear as day. They're finally
starting to see it if they haven't seen it.
I don't think he's not going to make any moves. And then I hear all the speculation. But I don't want to jump into that part yet, because I'm sure we're going to talk about that. But go ahead. The Cowboys, they have a long way to go. They have a long way to go.
But you're saying a complete rebuild. Normally, when people redo their house, they do the kitchen, and they say they do taking the steps. They do the kitchen, then they'll do the bathroom, they'll do the den. They might do the lawn, might do the roof. They don't. Everybody don't do a complete restoration at once. But because Jerry has allowed everything to get so dilapidated, he has no choice.
Right.
You cannot do a bathroom rebuild when your roof leaking. You can't do a roof restoration when your house infested with rats.
Right.
That's what Jerry has allowed to happen. He has a rundown, dilapidated building, both literally and figuratively, because you saw panelings dropping from the ceilings. From the ceiling.
Yeah.
So that's what has happened. Because you can't tell him nothing, it's hard to tell a man something that's worth that amount of money. And a lot of times you have yes men around you because they tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to know. Nobody is telling Jerry, honestly, Dad, honestly, Jerry, you're doing a terrible job.
Ain't
nobody go, exactly. That's why he's saying
you'll get your water cut off. You get your water cut off. You can't say that.
What do you say? Nobody has told him. Remember, we was talking about the tours that come through when the players are there?
Yeah.
He said nobody ever told me that it was a problem. Yeah, like somebody go tell you, Jerry, what the hell are you doing? It's a problem. Of course not.
Mm-hmm. You're acting like, especially during football season, you're acting like it's a goddamn museum.
It is. That's how he treats it. But I don't know. They haven't won a game at home, and the games that they're losing, they lost the last 6 home games, 34-10, 34-6, 47-9. The closest they came to winning was the Ravens, and the Ravens had them down really bad, but they fought back. They lost 28-25. They lost 44-19, 48-32. In their last, they've trailed by at least 20 points in all 6 games, an NFL record. And Jerry claimed, but he all in.
I don't think he understands what all in mean. I think he meant all in as far as the 2 players are concerned that were supposed to get paid. And they weren't even all in because they didn't get paid on time to be in goddamn time for practice.
No.
They should have been there for camp.
I don't know what did he say, Ocho? Well, I don't know what CD would have got out of practice. He'd have got a chemistry. I mean, for them, the guys to lead the league in quarterback reception, he had reception. Ocho, this year, you would have never knew that CD had played with Dak.
Yeah. And that tells not only the casual fan, but it tells Jerry how important all the things that you do, the necessary steps that are taken in the off season, how important that is before the season even hits.
You don't know what you don't know. And what you do, you surround yourself with people. Your people are supposed to be like mirrors, your rear view, because sometimes objects are closer than they appear.
Here, hey, you sound like my grandma.
But Jerry can't see that. Jerry can't see the forest for the trees. And because he wants to be the smartest guy in the room, and he's not. Jerry doesn't know fronts. Jerry doesn't know coverages. Jerry doesn't know formations. He doesn't know protections. He doesn't. And it's okay. But it's the pretending like he does. That's what irks me. If you don't know, like Clark Hunt doesn't know. Virginia McCaskey, she doesn't know. Steve Bisciotti, he doesn't know. Owners don't know that. Right. Jerry doesn't know it either, but he pretends, and he try to fool the fans. Well, I nobody can do that. Jerry, you don't know, bro, and it's okay. I don't know everything that I need to know, but I like to think I've surrounded myself with enough good people that do know, that can help Shannon in areas where he's weak.
Right. Guide you in the right direction.
In the Bible, the old men used to pray in the church, Ocho, they say, God, strengthen me where I'm weak. Build me up where I'm torn down. You see what I'm saying? I'm weak in an area. I need you to strengthen me there. And if I'm up here, bring me down.
Hold on. Stop right there. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, boy, that was a good one right there, boy.
Man, think about it. Them guys have lost 34-10, 34-6, 47-9. 28-25 was the closest they came to having a victory at home. They lost 44-19 and they lost 48-32. Look at the numbers that they're giving up. That deep.
Hold on. God strengthen me. Now that's a good one. Now
strengthen me where I'm weak. See, that's what Jay. Build me up where I'm torn down.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna let Jerry. But you know what? I think the fans are starting to see Jerry full of caca. Jerry doesn't know nearly as much as he says he does. And it's not the fact of, if you know what, people can understand if you don't know something. It's the pretending that you know.
Yeah.
And then allow people to see. Hey, Jerry ain't know what the hell he was talking about. Yeah, he don't. Ocho, did you hear those scores? 34-10, 34-6, 47-9, 28-25. I mean, look at all these 44, all these 40s. 48, 44, 47. And you remember the Lions running back showed a phase to a tackle. Running a flea flicker to a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They ran a flea flicker to a tackle.
The Lions they just making up stuff. They doing backyard football. Well, hell, the funny thing, we'll give them a pass on the line because the Lions doing everybody like that. They just hung 52. They just hung 52 on the goddamn Jags.
Ocho, hey, they could have hung for if they wouldn't have called all them damn penalties. They'd have hung for 50 on the Cowboys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a situation, Ocho. When you play a little league football and you blowing somebody out, and they're like, "Hey, coach, can I get there?" And here comes the offensive lineman. They put in the big fat ass in there running back. God, you blowing the nose off somebody. They got a lineman in there. He got number 73 on there, and you hand him the ball, and he gonna run a touchdown. Right. That's what the Lions were doing to the Cowboys in that defense. Y'all ain't got no. Do you got any pride? Do you got any pride?
You got. If anything, if you don't play for the star on the helmet, at least play for the name on the back. Last name on the back. The name on the back of the jersey.
As you walking away, that's what I see.
My name look bad on camera. On camera, that name and that number, I need mine to always stick out. I don't care how the situation is around us. I don't care how bad it is. But when they turn on that film, there's one thing that's gonna pop out. I mean, if I was a Cowboy,
Joe, and it might have got out of hand had they called that Nico Collins play back the first play of the game. How you give up 80 plus yards on the first play of the game, Ocho?
First play.
The first play?
First play. Hey, can you help me understand something? How is the referee saying it's a lineman too? Wait, how you say
it's a man downfield?
And what is the lineman doing?
Man.
Do they not know they have to stay behind the line of scrimmage and not go forward?
I think he can be 1 to 2 yards down the field. He wasn't that far down no damn field. But if you saw later in the game, how many pass interference did they call in Dallas' favor, trying to make it a ball game? Dallas too good to even benefit from penalties. I don't know why y'all calling. Y'all just wasting time. Y'all just drawing out the game.
Yeah.
If I call the Cowboys game, I'm eating my penalty. I done called and got me some General Joe's chicken and some Moo Moo Guy pan. All the y'all if in the back, my Chinese meal get cold. Help y'all. I already know y'all want some bull jive.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I would tell my wife to sew my flag in my pants. I can't pull it out.
Right. It's bad. It's bad.
It is terrible.
It's bad. So how do you fix outside of having to revamp the offensive line, the defensive line, and getting a little some bigger hogs, for the lack of better terms, up front?
You got to draft.
You got Dak. In the draft, you're not finding nobody in the draft.
But you don't have a choice, Ocho. Just like they found Zach Martin, just like they found Tyron Smith. Once they have, what was the guy, Travis? What was the guy, the center? Travis Frederick. Once Travis Frederick was the anchor. They drafted, they went consecutive years where they drafted all pros. And what happened was Frederick had an injury that he left early than what he should have, and they let Tyron Smith injuries pile up. They didn't have an adequate replacement, Zach Martin. So guess what happened? Everybody gets old and starts to deteriorate at the same time.
Right.
Now what you got, Ocho?
Right. You ain't got nothing, huh? You ain't got nothing. Zach Martin is not the same, and everybody else is bare minimum at best. And I hate saying that. I hate saying it. These are NFL players. These are the best of the best. But to compete at the level that they need to, week in and week out,
no, it's not even close, Ocho. And that's what happens. If you wait until your car's on its last legs, it's too late, Ocho. That's why you're supposed to get it serviced all the time. That's why you're supposed to check. Yes, but they were such great players, and I get it. Mm-hmm. But even if you have to draft their replacement and play them at other positions until they're ready to move on. Now you got you a left tackle in waiting. Now you got your right guard in waiting. Now you're going to have to develop these guys on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And the likelihood of you getting, look, think about how long ago they had Larry Allen. Think about how long it took them to get from Larry Allen leaving until they got Zach Martin.
Yeah, but that's a long time.
Or when they had Hotel Adam Flozell. Now, Flozell wasn't what Tyron Smith is. Tyron Smith is the future Hall of Famer. But he let the offensive roster go down too much. And defensively.
Right.
Because you know why? Because he was too busy blaming coaches. He let the fans talk him in and say it's the coach's fault. It was Mike Nolan's fault. It was Monty Kiffin's fault. It was Chris Richard's fault. It was always someone else's fault than what the player. Because see, I can't blame the players because I picked those. See, if I say it's the players, that's going to reflect negatively on me. See, I can change the coach and like, oh yeah, hey, it was time for him to move on. But if I say that is the direct tie to me,
right?
And what's the other Martin? Wasn't Rod Marinelli the coach in Dallas? Yeah, they blamed everybody, Ocho. They blamed everybody. They done ran out of people to blame now. And guess what? So Jerry done fired everybody. They done blamed everybody. Right. Now he's the last man standing.
Yeah, and then nothing has changed. So who's the problem? Who's the common denominator?
According to Adam S. Schefter, Bill Belichick seen as likely to be among Jerry Jones' top head coach options. Schefter said lots of speculation swirling about what the Cowboys would do. People have even thought about Coach Belichick having been spotted in Dallas last week. It can be confirmed that Bill Belichick was in Dallas last week, but it wasn't to meet with the Cowboys. It was for a previous speaking engagement. Still, that doesn't stop the idea that there are people across the league who continue to believe that Coach Belichick will be one of the top considerations for Jerry Jones after the season. Bill was not pleased with Dallas' effort tonight against Joe Mixon. Go tackle him. You wear pads for a reason. Go tackle him.
I don't see it. I don't see it. If you understand, for those that are in the chat, if you understand how Bill is, if you understand how he runs his ship, one of the main things that he talks about is not talking. No bulletin board material. Keeping quiet. And to have an owner like Jerry Jones at the front and center of everything, I think maybe he would like it in a sense, the fact that it takes away from him having to talk and be in front of the camera and in front of the media. He takes that spotlight. I think it's something that Bill might not like, but I think it gives too much bulletin board material to the other team and unnecessary pressure on the players as well.
But what happens when Coach Belichick comes in and say this roster is not good enough to compete? Everybody on that roster is there at the behest of Jerry. How is that going to make Jerry look when he said nobody can do a better job selecting these players than me? And Coach Belichick comes in there and says, we're not good enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's a conversation that would be had way beforehand. I'm not sure if even, Bill was able to even think about taking the job in Dallas. I mean, he would understand, obviously, I don't have a goddamn roster to be able to compete. And he would probably tell Jerry, knowing Bill, who was a very, very honest, if you're able to talk to him one-on-one, man, Jerry, you lying not only to yourself.
Chad, you got some fuzz on your neck, bro. Yeah.
I do?
You got it. No, you didn't.
I got it, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's gone?
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. But you're a good dude, because you could just have me up here all fussy the whole show. I appreciate that. Yeah. Knowing Bill, Unc, man, he'll tell Jerry right away, listen, I can't do nothing with this. I can't do nothing with this. Don't give me scraps, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to the player. Don't give me scraps and tell me to make a goddamn gourmet meal. I'm not gonna be able to do it. It's not gonna work.
It's just hard, and I know people have said that Coach Belichick says he doesn't need control, but it's hard when you've had control for 2+ decades to all of a sudden says, you know what, I answer to a GM, or I got a pro personnel director, and I got to answer to the owner. When you've never had, you had a direct line of communication straight to the owner. Right. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's just hard for me to see a scenario that he can just give up that kind of autonomy when he's had it for such a long time.
He would have to. He would have to. Understanding the way Bill runs his ship, and I don't need you in my way. I don't need you in my way and doing what it takes to build a contender. I know what it takes. You've done it before. You have Super Bowl rings. I have Super Bowl rings. I think if I'm not mistaken, Bill has two more than the Cowboys. Right?
He has 6. The Cowboys have 5, but he has 2 as a defensive coordinator. So he has 8 total. He won 2 with the Giants. He was the D coordinator with the Giants in 86 and 90.
That's right. He sure was the D coordinator with the Giants. Listen, if at that point Jerry should, you know what? I give you the reins. If I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if it's ever to happen, Jerry had to take a seat. He got to take a seat. He got to take a back seat. Let Bill does what he's already done. He's already done. He knows what it takes. In this time, in this era, he knows what the roster needs to look like. He knows what pieces need to do. When it comes draft time, nobody does it better than Bill when it comes to breaking down film and understanding what type of players I need to build a goddamn team. Where Jerry relinquished that power.
Jerry like names. Bill like guys that fit a particular scheme. He likes smart players. He like players that fit a safety to be a certain size, a linebacker to be a certain size, defensive lineman to be a certain size. It's hard. Yeah. Everybody can't play D-line in the scheme because his D-line is to eat up players and let the linebackers free flow and go make plays. That's how he operates. He's a 2-gap guy. He doesn't want you to run the football. Everybody has a responsibility. Do your responsibility. And I think this is work. I'm going to put you in the right situation for you to do your job. But it's going to be very interesting to see what the Cowboys do for the rest of the season. Ocho, a piece of metal falls from the stadium shortly after opening the roof and nearly lands on people. While the roof was being opened for the first time since 2022, it was then closed after the incident.
See, you talk about Spirit Airlines and AT&T Stadium falling apart.
But you got, hold on. That stadium opened up in what, 2009, 2010? So, I mean, theoretically, Ocho, it's kind of outdated. If you look at it, if you look at it, Ocho, man, these teams flipping these stadiums around, man. Look at the Georgia Dome. The Georgia Dome.
Have you seen?
They got Mercedes-Benz, huh?
Right. You seen SoFi?
Yes.
Oh my God.
SoFi, because and they have a lot of events at Jerry's World because that's the way the building pays for itself. Is that how many events can you have there? How many truck pulls and concerts and other football games and basketball games? How many other events other than NFL football games can you have at a venue? SoFi is like, look, we're gonna have the opening ceremonies. We're gonna have. I think they got the World Cup. They got so many. They got so many events that's going to be held at SoFi, and that's what. And you got to get the latest and greatest. You got to put the suites because that's where you make the lion's share of your money. Because people are paying $500,000, $1 million, $2 million every year.
You want to get a suite?
Yeah, and you got to pay for the food that's going in there. So you don't. The suite is one thing. You got to pay, and that stuff ain't cheap.
Nah.
Hell, I think we paying $12 for a can of beer when Ray and I had a suite on the 50-yard line. I mean, we had a great deal. We had a great deal. Ain't too many players have a suite on the 50-yard line. But that's what our suite, Ray and our suite, was right next to Mr. Modea. Well, all right, can't call him Mr. Rest His Soul. He rolling over talking about what I tell you about calling me Mr. Modea. All right. Yeah, that's very expensive. But and you see, I think the Bronx, Mile High, it was Safeco and Besco. It's nice. I don't know what it is. The stadium at Mile High. They're looking to do a new stadium. You see, Kansas City is about to do upgrades. Soldier Field. They're about to move out a little further. They're about to build a new stadium. That's just the way it is, Ocho. It's just state of. You got to go state of the art because you got to have more things than just NFL football played in that building. And you got to have luxury suites. You got to have all these bells and whistles. You need to have 5-star Michelin star chefs preparing the food and things of that nature. It's a different ball game now. It used to be you go to the ball game, Ocho, to watch the game. Right. Now you go to these, it's an experience.
Oh yeah.
It's an experience. They got fanfare, they got all the glitz and glam, they got people juggling and they got women dancing and they got concerts before and they got concerts after. It is an experience not going into a sporting event.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Ashley, all we need is some good food. Ocho, the December 9th Monday Night Football matchup between the Bengals and the Cowboys looked very appealing. when the schedule was released months ago before the season kicked off. Networks like ESPN can work with the league to flex game out of a time slot and replace it with more exciting ones. But today it was revealed the game can't be flexed out for a truly hilarious and unexpected reason. The Simpsons. For those asking, the Bengals Monday Night Football game is not eligible to be flexed out because of all the drawings, voiceover, and other works that have been done for the Simpsons alternate cast that will air that night. Who would have guessed it? Homer Simpson would be a reason millions of you are going to be subjected to a subpar football game instead of one with.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, it don't matter.
Actually, honestly, this wouldn't be a subpar football game. Offensively, the Bengals are exciting. And
so they just play offensive football now? They don't play defense, huh?
You see, you ain't had to go there. You ain't had to go there.
You realize
now,
like the Bengals defense and the Cowboys defense going to have to come up. Now, the Cowboys offense might even look competent against y'all.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, Ocho.
No. Oh, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. But again, listen, our offense is one of the most entertaining offenses that you will tune in to see. Regardless to what our record is, they are excited to watch. T is back. Jermaine Burton playing well. Chase is goddamn motherfucking Chase. And I just, as bad as our record is, we're the best 4-7 team in the NFL. I don't even know if that even fucking makes sense. We are the best.
Ocho,
4-7.
If you win, if you get first prize in the ugly contest, you still ugly. What the hell are you talking about? What you talking about? Y'all got a guy that's gonna go throw for 5,000 yards. Y'all got a guy that might win the Triple Crown. You still 4-7.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's why I just see. That's why I said we the best 4-7 team. It's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly.
That's like being the biggest little person in the circus. You still in the circus. You getting your ass out of a little car. 15 of you. What the hell? What the hell are you talking about?
I'm trying to find the good in the situation.
You can't find no good in that, Ocho.
I'm trying to find the good.
As good as your offense is, your defense is equally as bad.
Yeah. Whoa. They gave us the chance that second half. I'm not sure where that came from, but that second half, they gave us a chance.
But see, like you said, we needed that. We needed those stops in the first half, so we could get our footing.
Yeah.
But
we got to start fast. We ain't gonna talk about that.